Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and hi class of 2022. Hi Moot Court 2022. How are you guys doing? Jump into this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also remember none of my videos constitute as legal advice, substitute for your classes, whatever it is. This is just pure information and for entertainment purposes. Okay, all right, so Moot Court, I'll show you a picture of myself when I did that. It was really nice. I did it in 2019. Was it 2019? Yes, 2019 April. Don't know why I moved so late this year. I've been getting messages only now, so I don't know why. But anyways, I'm doing this video because I keep on getting messages of people and their topics or whatever, and I give them the same answer every time. No one can help you prepare for your heads of arguments. That's number one. Number two, this is something that you should be learning from. And it is very important that you know how to do heads of arguments, because in every other thing that you do, it's like answering an essay. Knowing how to attack or tackle an essay question is something that you should know. So same way, writing heads of arguments should be something that you should know. Answering a question, determining a legal issue of a client should be something that you know if you want to be part of this noble profession. Okay, so how do we go about preparing for your moot? So by now you probably have got your question and your moot is next week, or you're only getting your question tomorrow and your moot is next week. Whatever the case might be, usually it's 7 days before your actual moot, whatever. I cannot remember, 7 or 2 weeks. I can't remember the logistics of it, but which are usually just, they overdo it sometimes. But anyways, this is how you go about answering the questions. So it's the morning, you're asked to come pick up your moot questions at 1. If you ask to pick up your moot question at 1 o'clock, please be there by 5 to 1, because you'll know, unless the administrator has been changed, it's very annoying to go into the administrative office, or if the moots are being emailed to you guys, which would be better. Anyways, when you get your moot question, the first thing that you need to do is just read it. Do not rush into thinking, what area of law is this? What area of law is this? What am I doing? The first thing that you need to know is, am I a defendant? I mean, am I the appellant or the respondent? Those are the two things that you need to know. And from there on, most of the time, if not all the time, moots touch a lot of aspects and a lot of things. Like, even in practice, you don't just go on and deal with criminal law when you're dealing with a case. Most of the time, usually it'll be criminal law touching, constitutional law touching. So when you are looking at your moot question, that's the first thing you should do. Look at your question and read it, understand it, and also read it from a standpoint of who are you actually appearing for. You should understand for the other party as well, because that's how you're going to be making your arguments and the arguments stay. But when you are writing your heads of argument, you should be addressing it from a standpoint of whoever that you are representing. Even if it's nicer on the respondent's side, or it's nicer on the appellant's side, be whoever that it is that you are for. That's the only thing that you need to, not only, but that's what you must focus on. All right, so you look at that. When you are looking at, okay, now you've found what area of law you are dealing with. Say you are dealing with criminal law, and you are dealing with what, I'm trying to think of a question. Okay, you are dealing with not criminal law. Let me not do something that I was asked we inbox recently, and I responded with the same answer. Let's say you are dealing with issues of person who is now 18 wanting to go for a certain religious thing like circumcision or whatever, but their parents deny them. So you are now looking at understanding, and they now want to apply for, and the court granted their parents, whatever the case might be, and they now want to appeal a decision here, court to do whatever it is that they want. So there you are looking at right to access to healthcare. You are looking at children's rights. And the first question you need to answer to yourself is this person a child or not? When does one attain majority? So when you are going into your research stage, guys, you've done this. If you were attending classes, and if you go through your notes with professional training, I think it's professional training, that's the name of the module if you are in UKZN. Professional training 1, you are taught legal writing. I think that's done at 2nd or 3rd year. Then this year, you are now doing the first thing that happens before the moot stage. You are taught how to research a moot. How do you go about in the library? How do you go about in online and everywhere? In the library, let's say you are using Safli. You are dealing with children's right. You're going to go and type children's right to healthcare, whatever it is, if that's what you are researching. And by the way, Mutona 18 is no longer a child. So the first thing that you need to bring to the court's attention is that this person has attained majority and parents have no right there, if you are answering the question that I'm giving you an example of. So when you are doing that, you type in Safli, if you are using Safli, which is one of the best places for looking at new cases and looking at cases that are happening right now. That's where you go, right to healthcare. Okay, you search there, you see what's happening. All right, and then you're going to find cases, you're going to find new cases, you're going to find old cases. That's what you find there. If you're not satisfied with what you're getting at Safli, go to LexisNexis. The school has an account, not free, but paid for by the school, that you all have a password to, that you go into. If you don't, ask for it from the librarian. They will help you with that. There's Juta. There's all of that. So you're going to find there's Westlaw if you're dealing with something that has to do with international law, because your moot question can come from anywhere. So when you are researching, those are your starting points. The next place to go is textbooks. If you are dealing with healthcare, go on text there, go on AMA right to healthcare. There's a section of medical law, whatever it is. Go on there, find definitions, find what are the scholars saying about it, because you also need to, when you are researching, one of the things that scored me a lot of marks in my moot was that I used not just cases, not just the case, because with every moot, one tip I can give you, with every moot, there's actually a case that has been dealt with, that has come to court. You just need to search it and find it. You will definitely find it. For me, what I also used, I used scholarly arguments and notes. I used articles. I had a lot of research done for my moot, and that's very impressive to your judge, whoever it is, because it shows that you were very much invested into answering and researching, because part of your moot is made up of your research more than your arguments in the court on the day of the moot. It's the least of your worries is the arguments on the day of the moot. Well, for me, most of my work was done before getting there. When I got there, I was confident. I was obviously in the side of the law, which was not favorable, but I did a lot of research and I did a lot of writing, which scored me a lot of marks. I got a distinction for my moot, arguments, and writing. Going to see your marks at the end of the semester. What else do you do? The next thing that you do in your moot is, for your moot, when writing is, okay, so let's say you are dealing with, you're going to have to address everything. I had a monkey issue in my moot. I was dealing with a monkey that was a monkey is a wild animal. So you need to understand all of that. Yes, you are dealing with the law of property, but you're not only just dealing with the law of property. So you need to understand all of the things that you are dealing with in terms of your mood question. So I first had to define Leo monkey and find that type of monkey, all of that. So those are things that you look at, and all of the answers are available. Resources are there. If you cannot have them in your room, you're going to have to go and sit at the library. I think the last 2 days before submitting my heads of arguments, I didn't sleep. I don't recommend that, but I didn't sleep because the first 2 days I was panicking. I just sat and panicked. Like I'd look at my question and say, yo, law of property. But I loved law of property, which was also an advantage. Was doing it, I enjoyed it, and I was very much in the head of what this is law of property, but it dealt with so many things, right to property, Section 25 of the Constitution, not just so all of those things. When you are dealing with your moot, you need to understand that you are not just dealing with one area of law. I hope I am clear in terms of your research. You are going to be fine. Okay, let's go on things that you're probably also more concerned about. What am I gonna wear? Yada yada yada. First things first, it's cute to wear a suit to the mood, to wear. You obviously have to look like you're going to court. Court colors are navy and black, white or light colored shirt, so it could be a blue shirt or a white shirt. No pinky. 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 This is not legally blonde. Those are things that you are going to be assessed on as well. Can wear gray pants. I wore gray pants. I'll insert a photo if I can find it. I wore gray pants. Out ricotta. Yeah, I know. But they were formal pants. I wore a shirt, plain shirt. The pants, I got them on sale at Mr. Price for 80 rands. I think they were coming from like 150. I didn't spend much. That's one advantage for females, and that's one thing. Even for guys, you can go and buy chino pants at Mr. Price, a white shirt, a tie, wear your formal shoes. You are good to go. You don't need to break the bank in order to do the moot. You have to look presentable. You have to look like you want to be there, because the first things that happen is that once you look good, you feel confident, you are going to be able to respond to questions. You are going to be able to even stand before the court and answer your questions. Also, Mina, when I did my moot, when we went to collect the gowns, it was closed at the office where we were supposed to collect until... You'll know the issues with that office. I hope issues have changed, but it was closed when we were collecting our gowns. So our judge asked us if we want to continue without gowns, and we're like, we are perfectly fine without them. We did our moots without gowns, and my moot was actually at moot court. We did them without gowns, and I was confident because I felt good in what I was wearing. So one thing that I would say, find yourself an outfit that's not too expensive. You don't need to wear something bizarre in order for you to look presentable. Be clean. If you are a guy, shave ekanda, ubugeke, because yes, the only thing that matters is if you are in black and white, but you are before somebody who's assessing you. They're going to assess you on your dress code. They're going to assess you on how you look. You don't need to wear a blazer. If you don't have it, you don't need to wear it. What else do you need to do? And those are the least of your worries. Those are things you're going to worry about when you get the arguments of the other party after you've read them, and then Monday you're trying to decide, what am I wearing on my moot? Mina, I bought a shirt, think a shirt, because pants I had already got some time ago, and then I got new ones which I ended up not wearing because I just didn't like them. They made me look like a guy, because again, made the mistake of wanting to look like, but I didn't feel confident in that, and I felt like I looked like a guy, so I wore my old pants, that I wore, which looked really nice. And I was fortunate that I was working part-time at that time, so I had money for doing hair, doing nails. You don't have to do those things. you really don't have to. You just need to be there, clean, fresh, confident. One thing that you need to bring is your confidence, because if you're not confident and the court can't hear you, you're going to have a problem, because those are things that count. Lapha kahle kahle is speech. A speech that you need to be complete in a certain amount of time, and it's something that you need to be sure of what you're saying. If you're not, the court is going to see through you. And what else do I need you guys to remember before I let you guys all go? Ask for help. If you can't, obviously courts are GTAs are not allowed to help you, or many people are not allowed to help you to prepare for your heads of, because it's part of their assignment. But if you're having an issue with writing, maybe in terms of what font to use, those small stuff, ask your peers to assist you. Get help. Ask people to read your heads of arguments for you. That's one thing I did when I was done. I asked one of my very brilliant friends, Funi Hai, who was a master's student by that time. I asked her to read my arguments for me and see is it making sense to her, and she said it made sense. So ask for help in ways like that once you're done. And yeah, if you don't know how to use the FIRAG rule, I don't know how we even here, but that's what you're going to be doing. Going to be addressing the facts of the case that you are, of the question that you are giving. Going to be addressing the issue. What is the issue at hand? The rule of law. What does the rule of law say? In your heads of argument, that's what you are addressing. You're basically writing an essay, but it's an essay that basically covers the basis of what you're going to be saying in court on the day. And you're going to now answer, be then, after having addressed the relevant law, you are then going to applying the law to your question. How does it apply to your question? As somebody who's an owner of a monkey who lost a monkey, which is a wild animal, what does the law say about wild animals that go back into the wild? So those are things that you look at. And finally, concluding, what do you want the court to do? What are your prayers to the court? Those are things that you're going to do. Even when you get to practice as a CA, that's how you address your heads of arguments. That's how you tackle them. You don't just go around and say, precedent, heads of arguments. You go and do your research. You go on and write. I spoke about how I used to do research on topics that I'm dealing with in matters. So if I'm dealing with issue of property, I'll write that. If I'm dealing with the issue of criminal law, when I was doing my bail application video, which is my previous video, those are things that I spoke about. Okay, you're going to be fine. Do not panic. You're probably panicking. I was too, but it's one of the longest 1 hour of your life that you're going to have. And if you do your research well, and if you write your paper well, and if you're there and present your arguments well, even if you stutter, I always say this, I'm a stutter, but I take long breaths like this when I feel like I'm going to stutter, and find ways of dealing with your triggers before they actually come and steal your dream of becoming the best counsel in town. All right, hope you guys are going to do well on your moots, and good luck. And if you've done your moots, you did well. If you're still waiting for your marks and trying to figure out if what you did wrong, what you're gonna be fine. And if, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this video, and I will see you on my next one, and good luck.